chic I'm at from seeing Julius work with a film camera, 4x5. I mean, that is so refreshing to see. For anyone who loves art, photography, or whatever it might be, you just look at something and you think, oh my God, things have really changed. So on that line, was he interested in your technology and your process? Because you're both people who look through a lens. Did you get in a conversation with you or ask you about your work?
Could you hear that? Okay. Kind of yes and no. So there's times when, I'll tell you, interviewing him at times, when he gets an audience, we call it, Jürgen, who's in, his photographic partner, Jürgen calls it silverbacking. And so if he has an audience, so when we would have a crew there, and we're there to record him and interview him, he can't let go behind the camera. He's in front of the camera and behind the camera. So there's that going on. But otherwise, as far as like technology and what we're doing with the things, and he's curious. He's quite interested, like with digital technology.
Yeah.
He's fascinated by it, but he'll never pick it up. And I can see he doesn't scorn it, or it's almost like it's magic to him, and he doesn't want to ruin that. He wants to keep it as some magical, mystical thing.
And just how his is to us, because that's magical watching somebody like him work with that medium. It's totally magic, so thanks.
Oh, I agree with you. For me to watch it, even when I was watching this tonight, I was watching his process. It was the Disney concert hall interior shot, and he started to, when he was doing that shot, I was thinking, because his whole thing is, everybody walks into the interior up in the balcony and just shoots it dead center. And I'm gonna do this. And I was thinking, he's just looking for something to, like, he's trying to be different. Every time I doubt Julius, I'm pretty much wrong. So in watching that and listening to his story, he said it's a story. There's a beginning and an end to the wall. And I thought, wow, that is really, it's just a different set of eyes. No one's done that but him, that I've seen. Yes?
Did he comment on the changing architecture of Austin?
Did he comment on the changing architecture of Austin? He absolutely loves Austin. And so he came here for the Austin, back in October, and he hadn't been here, I don't know, since the 60s, or I can't even remember when the last time he was here. And he instantly fell in love with it. And we had a screening at the Lawn Center, and he loved the Lawn Center. And he saw, he and his daughter, they're really in tune to things. They could feel Austin and the progressiveness and what's going on and the excitement. And he wanted to come back, but he was supposed to be here for this. So yeah, he approves of what's happening in Austin. And actually, we had a really great day with Chris Krager, who is a local architect here and doing some incredible work. And this was a whole thing in itself, but Julius has always, he doesn't believe that any type of modular or prefab housing will work. He would never give it up. And this has been for years and years and years. And I wanted to show him Chris's work. Chris has a whole line of modular housing. He loved it. So he wanted to come back. Yes, he gets Austin. Did he ever do photographs of nature? And he has a lot. There were quite a, we put like maybe 2 in. They were towards the earlier part of the film. And then also there were some in the project environment part. And that's why we opened the film. You get a brief little intro, and then it's in his garden. And that I wanted it to start in the garden, because I always say, like, if you cut Julius's veins, he's going to bleed green, because there's another image of him running naked through the woods, like throwing a spear or something. It goes by really quick at the beginning. So he's the eternal Boy Scout. Okay, 2 more questions. Okay, yes. Graphic design and animation segments. Incredible design agency or firm. They're pretty, called Trollback. And they're phenomenal, both in their work and to work with. It's owned by a Swedish designer by the name of Jacob Trollback. And he, coming from Sweden, I mean, anything modern, of course. And he absolutely, we were introduced to him, and he right away said, "Julius Shulman, I'll do it. I'll do whatever you want." And I was probably the lowest paying customer and the longest there. They said, "Eric, you are officially the longest person ever to work with us." And they treated me like I was a $1 million BMW commercial. They're incredible.
How did you get Dante Spinotti to feed your film?
Getting Dante Spinotti. I went to the American Society of Cinematographers because I had these sequences that I called visual symphonies, and I wanted to get, top-notch cinematographers to shoot some of these locations. And I just went up and introduced myself, and it was great. And this was like the world of Julius. Everything is connected to Julius. Forget the Kevin Bacon thing. It's Julius. And when I introduced myself to him, Dante was like, "Oh yeah, I had just met him 2 weeks ago." And Dante's friend had opened up an Italian furnishing store in Beverly Hills, and Julius was there. And so, you could see he was familiar with the work through Michael Mann, and he loved the work. And again, he was one of these people, "Here's my number, call me," and he was the easiest person to work with. Okay.
A different person, one more.
Back in the seat.
Okay, it's your first film, and it took a long time working on it. What's the main thing that you learn in the process, and what do you do differently if you do that again or for your next film?
First film, what did I learn in the process? What would I do differently?
What's the main thing that you learned with the whole process, and what would you do differently or not differently? Like, what was the main thing that you learned during the whole process?
Yeah, the main thing, it would be hard to, I didn't really have to kind of think about that one, but I think ultimately, like, pulling it all together, this was version 1.0. I feel like I've gained some tools, and the next one I think I can do quicker. And actually, I kind of overdid it on some things with this and learned, like, some of the things that I don't need. Like, ultimately, okay, here's what it is. At the end of the day, it's the audience. The audience is the final, most crucial element. And through sitting here and having people come, and I really do thank you for coming, I learned what needs to finally make it up on the screen.
Please just come across to Paradise. It's just a catty corner from here. Thank you again.